Today we're going to do roast. We have a magnificent roast shoulder of veal and a big leg of lamb.
And we're going to do that with all kind of incredible ingredients, which a few years ago you couldn't find anywhere except in Europe. Fresh herbs, great cheese, mushroom, and so forth.
And we found them at our local supermarket just up the street. Well, let's get going.
Good. Happy cooking.
Bon appetit. We're going to start with the veal, and I think we should discuss what to look for when you buy veal.
The color here, we have a beautiful color veal. Nice pink, it's not too reddish. And we can season it very simply with a little bit of herbe de Provence, which is a mixture of different type of herbs. I'm going to take some of your salt here. That would be part of the inside shoulder, top blade, they will call it sometime. And that's, in my opinion, a very good, it's very lean piece of meat and very moist. If you want to hold it together, better we can do it with a kitchen twine like this, making an attachment
Butcher's
here.
kitchen twine.
Yes, don't use nylon thread
No.
to melt, you know.
No, that would
And what
melt.
you do here is very simply a loop here for the brownies, you know, or the people who have a boat, that you do a half each. And you pull that this way, and again the loop. And after you ease it very gently underneath, then pull it again tight.
And that's
And again.
easy to do once you know how.
Exactly. This is very useful for your Christmas package, you know. From here, you go gently, roll it on the other side and do the same thing here. So finally, you bring it back again to attach it wherever you started, you know. And it does hold it together nicely, you know.
Nicely explained.
Yes, thank you. Now, can I have a little piece of butter? We're going to saute that in a large saucepan like this because I need the space to put a lot of garnish around. Okay, here we are. But first, the first part of it is to brown the veal on all face here. And that's what's going to happen in the last 10-15 minutes.
While you do that, I'll cut some of the mushroom.
We'll work with the mushroom, right?
We're using wild mushrooms.
Can I help you on
You
this?
please do.
Okay.
These are just plain ordinary mushrooms.
Those are oyster mushrooms, you know. And those now are raised, you know. They used to be strictly wild. I personally pick up quite a lot. Every year I pick up in the area of 200 pounds of wild mushroom of about 20 different types.
You have to know mushrooms, so.
You do, but you know, in most towns you can go to the Mycological Society, often the extension of the university, and you go on foray in the wood, and it's great. But if you don't know anything about mushroom, please don't pick up mushroom on your lawn and eat it. It could be very dangerous, you know. But it's a great, it's a great fun to do, yes. So here you have a mixture, huh? Here you get a type of yellow food chanterelle here. I kind of wild mushroom. Those fall out in nothing, so we just break them apart. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to saute them with some shallot and a bit of butter.
Let me see
So
my
I can
roast
use
now.
Plenty of butter.
Gonna turn it on the other side. It's starting getting beautifully brown here. Okay.
I'm just going to put these mushrooms in. They have to exude their juices at this point. Just put them all in.
Okay.
I'm also going to put in, I have some chopped shallots. Put plenty of them in.
I think on the garnish I'm going to put a leek in there instead of onion,
That
you know.
would be nice. That is all washed.
Yes, it's all washed, and most of the part of the leek, I mean, which is white and very light green, you can use the green part for something else. Maybe I'll add a couple of lemon rind I'm going to put around for taste.
This veal likes lemon, doesn't it?
It's true, yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put some savory here. I have some savory, which are related to thyme and all this. You know? So this is brown nicely all around. And I do have crystallization of the juice here. I want to put this around to cook. And of course, a little bit of white wine. I think about a cup of white wine. Then I will cook that first for about 20 minutes before I put the rest of my vegetable in it.
Here's our big leg of lamb, and this is a whole leg of lamb. It goes from where?
From the hip. Yes.
But it also has the tail in it, and it has the hip bone.
Yeah. This is the place where you sit down when you go horseback riding, you know. What we are going to do first is remove that big hip bone. No, you follow the shape of the bone,
yes,
really,
which is
and you go
convoluted.
up to a little bit convoluted, yes. And then there is the hips, yeah, that one
Now
here.
this, interesting, this is the ball joint of where the main leg attaches to the hip.
Yeah, because you can see here
see it in
that
there.
joint right there, the end of the femur, if you want, and getting into the socket of the pelvis bone here. So that whole part. See, the interesting part of it, of course, you can buy it, and you don't have to do it. But frankly, when you know how to do that, whether it's a leg of pork or a leg of anything, it's always the same cut, you know. And we can do a great stock with that.
That's interesting. There was this part here, that ball joint was attached to the hip by tendons, and you have to cut them
Right
out.
there, you have to cut the tendon inside. But that you do a great stock with it. So now I'm going to remove more of that fat. And as you can see here, there is a big layer of fat. We're going to stuff that with rosemary and garlic, right?
Yes, I was supposed to be doing this while you were doing that, wasn't I?
Right. Okay, some garlic and a beautiful rosemary here. So I'll continue getting out of the fat here. And as you can see, most of the fat I get out is on top of the hip, really. What it gets here, it's really just a skin here. There isn't much to take out.
I'm just going to say I'm chopping the garlic and then putting a little salt here.
Oh, good.
And then I'm going to puree it with the flat of the knife.
That's exactly what we need. I'm giving you some rosemary in there, right?
What am I supposed to do with this?
To chop the whole thing together,
Chop
we
it.
decided.
Okay.
That was your recipe this morning.
No, this is not my... We must have read it somewhere.
Okay. We're going to make a little hole here, sliver, and insert that in there. You want to do a little sliver to show them a different way of doing it? So this is really the classic little sliver of garlic that you put in there. So you make a little hole, and you slide one. This one, to make it a bit different, we've done the puree here.
Yeah.
Which at that point is
We can
another
put
way
either one in.
of filling it up in there, which is nice also. Here, you want another piece here?
That's all right.
Good. And that really flavors the meat. Of course, you could stuff
do
it.
this well ahead and just keep it in the fridge for a day.
In fact, it's good to do it a little ahead.
Yes, I think so, then it would permeate the meat more thoroughly.
Don't forget the underside, you know. I think we have about enough, yes. Here. You have a little bit left, you know, I can rub it on top of it. And this is the part here, just in front of that bone, which is the top sirloin, the hip steak. And if you cut it this way, you have a nice little roast here. This is maybe the most tender part of the leg.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it is, yes. Okay, so we put some pepper in it, some salt on each side. Pepper again. About 400-degree oven.
400?
Yes.
How long with that?
Well, that's going to take a while until it registers about, take it about 130-degree internal temperature.
Oh. But how long is it going to stay at 400 degrees?
Until it's cooked.
You're going to cook it at 400?
Yes, I cook it at 400.
Gosh.
Yes. Well, you can lower the heat, but what's important is to let it rest at the end for a while.
I usually cook it at 350, but
Oh, well. We can lower it and cook it at
no,
350.
I'd like to taste it your way.
How is your mushroom doing?
I haven't done anything about them for a while.
So this is
They were
cooking
just
there.
sitting there, but they've
Good,
reduced
they
their
reduced.
juices. I'm going to cook them a little bit now to evaporate their juices.
Uh-huh. Good. So we have plenty of time because I am going to take a look at my roast. Now I have my roast, which is reducing quite a lot. I have almost no more juice. And I thought that I was going to put my endive directly next to it. Braise the endive with it. Belgian endive, right? And this is actually the root from the chicory. It's grown into sand, in cellar, or covered in the dark, so it doesn't get exposed to photosynthesis. So there is no green happening, then it grows white out of it. And it's a very interesting process,
Now,
of
I've
course.
never cooked it this way.
Me neither.
No, you neither.
Yes, we're trying it.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to put my roast on top of it.
well,
And
you
I'll
can't
see.
blanch it, but this should give. Are you going to baste it with any of that juice?
No, I'm going to put a little bit of salt again on top, a dash of white wine or stock. I don't have stock here, so I'll put a dash more of white wine. And now it should cook a good 45 minutes now, I would think.
Well, I'll be interested to see what this tastes like, sir.
Me too. And now we're going to do our gratin of eggplant.
Of eggplant.
Right.
Now, when you pick an eggplant, be sure that it's shiny and firm, that the skin is firm on it. If it's dull and wrinkled, it's going to be bitter, isn't it?
That's what they
And
say.
this, they say, this size is male, and the males are better than the females, this eggplant. I
It
don't
seems
know that that's true or
It
not.
seems that the male have less seed than the female.
I think so. These are very nice eggplant.
I think I have a female. I have a lot of seed.
Oh, yes, that's female.
You know, you can see at the end of it, they say, there is a mark where you can see whether it's a male or a female. I never know which is which. That is in the eggplant.
We want to salt them and put on some herbs, or we put on some sort of mixed Italian herbs.
Mm-hmm. You put some oil on top?
Yes?
And I put a little bit of the herb, that's good.
That can go into your 400-degree oven with the lamb. Then we cook them just until they're soft.
Uh-huh.
So there they are, that's soft.
Yes, that's soft. And what we are going to do, it's a mixture of those with zucchini, right? With the tomato.
Mm-hmm.
A real Provençal type of gratin, right?
You do the tomato and I'll do the
You do the zucchini. Okay.
Right.
Cut the tomato. You want to cut them not too thin there because everything has to cook together.
Yes.
Now this is classic in the south of France as well as in Italy, of course, all around the Mediterranean basin. Those type of gratin, or what we call a ratatouille in French, or a caponata in Italian, a mixture of sauté, eggplant, zucchini, onion, and so forth. In that case, we are turning that into a gratin. We put a bit of olive oil there. So we start arranging them. So a bit of the herbe de Provence, or Italian seasoning. Two of those. Zucchini, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
the
we put
tomato
them.
on.
Then we put the tomato.
Well, I'll put a little salt on each layer.
You do each layer, right?
All right.
Good, we go this way. I think I put the whole one like this because they are actually nice to be long like this.
Okay.
Good. And the tomato.
Then we're going to have just enough, aren't we?
Just right, yes, that. That's good. And then now, Parmesan cheese, breadcrumb, olive oil, herbs. What else we want to put on top? This is the Parmesan,
A
right?
little more oil, don't you think?
Oh, yes. Oh, we need oil on top, yes. Sometimes it's nice to mix the breadcrumb directly with a bit of the oil.
That's a good
You know,
idea.
because it get a nice
And these are
glossy.
fresh breadcrumbs again.
Yes. And if you rub it like this, but you don't put enough so that the thing get gooey. You see, it's still pretty
That's a
loose,
good idea.
but it's nice. So at that point, it get a nice browning. A little bit of oil more on top, you want?
So we could have a little bit.
Okay. I put pepper then. And that's going to join the lamb in
Good.
the same oven,
I hope you have room
around
there.
400-degree oven. Yes, we have room right on top here.
Good. Well, that's great.
A good 40 minutes, you know.
And now we have the white beans that are going to go with the lamb. These are great northern beans. You could use pea beans, any ordinary white bean. And then I will soak my beans overnight in cold water, and then because some people have problems with beans, I pour out the water and put in some new water and cook them very, very slowly for about an hour to an hour and a half until they're almost tender. And then we're going to make a finish.
Then we make a finish. That's
And that's
beautiful.
a pancetta.
Yes, believe it or not. So we cut this. We're going to saute that. That's the flavoring of the beans, right?
Put a
You
little.
want it about that size? Yeah, okay.
You don't want to smoke, because
No.
then this, let's say something like bacon would take over all of the flavor.
Yeah, I guess at that point you would really have to blanch the bacon a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right? So we
Now what
put
else? We're
this.
going to put an onion
I think some.
and some garlic.
Oh yes. You know, maybe we should slice the garlic this time.
All right.
Instead of chopping it, we slice some garlic. One enough onion there, like a cup and a half of onion.
Flavor.
How about some fresh thyme in it?
That's always
Fresh thyme
good.
would be good, yeah.
I'll put in 5 cloves of garlic.
So you have your fresh thyme, onion, garlic, pancetta, and we want to saute that.
I'm going to taste these beans. They had little, if any, salt. They probably need 20, 30 minutes more cooking.
Yes, but that will cook with this, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving you back that stuff, okay. Here we are. A bit more garlic in it.
But that needs more salt.
Okay. This should really cook 8-10 minutes. You know, they're so start
Well,
get mellow together, but we're going to
Let's say that it has cooked.
let's pretend that
Now,
it has
after
cooked.
10 minutes, when the onions are tender,
And I
No.
put that in there.
that's going to be lovely. And now this will take about a good half hour to simmer up to perfection. So do it well enough ahead. You could do it in the morning even and serve it later. Now let's see how the mushrooms are. I think they
nice.
could have
Beautiful.
a little more butter in there.
Okay.
And then I want them shaken around. Give them a good shake.
This is a heavy pan, yeah.
Oh, that is.
Good.
Now I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of flour there and shake it again.
Oh, good.
And then a tiny bit more. This is just to give a little liaison.
Good.
I wanted to put a little cream in and then stir it around. And that
Yeah, it's
should
going to be
boil
a
and
nice-
thicken a bit.
Nice cream sauce. I can't wait to test it. Oh yeah, it's thickening.
I'm going to put just a
Can't
little
quite
bit
see.
of...
This is pork, right?
Yeah. Now we're going to taste it. It's a very nice, simple way. See if it needs any more salt and pepper. It probably does.
Oh yes. Oh, there's no
It
salt
needs
in
a little salt.
there. Yeah.
It's terribly important as you're finishing off.
White
Taste,
or black
taste.
pepper?
White.
White. Here's white pepper. Okay.
I should say now that was done. You can do that ahead and then reheat it just before serving.
Uh-huh. I think the veal is ready
Oh, good.
because I see that it's pretty tender.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to carve it and serve it with a natural juice.
You're going to have lots of nice sauce there.
Yes.
Mm.
It shrank a little bit, but
Well, it always does. Doesn't
yes.
It?
But that veal was very, very lean, you know, which is the beauty of it. So maybe I will arrange those endive first before I slice this. I'm going to take my endive here.
Well, that really did cook. I was, doubtful, as you remember.
They are very cooked, but I like the endive well cooked. And in the bottom here, I have some of the leek that I put at the beginning, but that I'm going to put it right on top of the natural juice. And now, I think
Now
it's just
that
about
looks
done.
very good.
Yeah. You can add a few.
There's hardly just a little tinge of pink.
Yes.
Some people are serving veal rare or
Too pink,
medium
yeah.
rare, and it hasn't developed its flavor at that point,
Right.
I don't think.
I think this
That
is
looks
just
just
about right.
right.
Yes. We put it here. It's a nice way of serving it, home style, a big platter like
Yes,
this,
I love that.
and putting the natural juice right on top of it and around.
That's going to be mighty good, I think.
Have some curly parsley here, just for color at the end. I think it helps a little bit on our endive. And a touch on the veal. And this is it with,
And it's
oh,
really just right. If it's overdone, it's lost its juice, and
It
if
would
it's
be.
underdone, it don't taste like anything.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
Well, I think it's ready.
Well, it better be.
Here. Want to taste it?
No, that's
Nice and tender.
nice. That's well
That's
ready.
beautiful color, huh?
It is. It's
Is
lovely.
it? Well, the leg of lamb is has been resting, for a while. What I'm going to do to carve it, first maybe I'll remove if there is any fat, but frankly, look, there is basically
there
no
isn't.
fat. So I'll put a bit of white wine or stock. This is the stock we did with the lamb bone.
That's to give it
So a little bit of natural juice.
call it an au jus
Au
sauce.
jus. Yeah, that's it. We're ready for the beans now, right?
Fine.
Okay. Ooh, they're nice.
Oh, those look lovely.
You want to put some
I'll put some on this
on a plate
this
there?
plate there.
Oh, good. And I'll put the rest right here. I think I'm going to carve directly in there.
Good, right on the platter. Good.
Yeah. So we would
That
carve.
looks lovely.
Yeah, this is a good party for what, 10, 12 people?
Yes,
huh?
I would think so.
So you will want to start cutting it here, and the crust. I love the crust like that,
Yeah.
that part.
And that looks just right. I would say about medium rare, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I don't like it so red that it's a squashy red. Do you?
exactly, yeah. I mean, but this is a question of taste, but for me, that type of color, reddish and
That's
medium rare
very
like
nice.
that is what fine. And of course, at the table, you could serve directly into the plate of your guest, or then arrange it in this manner. This is important for that roast to have rested. At that point, it is easier to cut. We're almost at the center here, and the color is just about right, huh? I will put my juice in there. And I think that I'll pour directly a little bit of the natural juice on top here. It's good, and on the beans, And probably a little bit for you here, on your beans. Here we are.
There's the eggplant.
It looks absolutely beautiful.
Well-
And with lamb, of course, we need a nice Pinot Noir, maybe. We did enjoy
This is a
doing it.
wonderful meal.
It was.
Happy cooking.
You're stealing my line. And bon appetit.
This was fun, Jacques.
That was
Let's
great.
do it again.
Let's do it again.